It's Brenda Miller. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and I go live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time to share with you some of the things that I've been working on, specials that are going on, and other Stampin' Up! News. Today I'm going to be sharing the Spring Corners bundle. This is one of the new online exclusives. Actually, I don't think it's new. I think it's been out there for a little bit, but anyway, I believe it became available in January, and I'm excited to share it because I'm also offering a free class to anyone who purchases the bundle in the month of February. They will get all the supplies for a free class to be held on March 19th, and it'll also be recorded, so you don't even have to attend the class. And there'll also be a PDF tutorial, so it's definitely worthwhile. You get to make 5 cards with your brand new bundle, so definitely worth it, especially during celebration. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a card from that class. And also, it was one that we used in a class last week. Same card, but multiple uses. So let's go ahead and take a look. So here's our bundle. The Spring Corners stamp set has so many different sayings through the happy and sad. Happy, we are friends, always in your corner. Thank you for everything. Wishing you an amazing day. And it has little hearts and balloons and little corner stamps. And it also comes with the fabulous dies. And this is what sold me on the stamp set. I love corner dies. So it has, these two are the same. So you could do multiple corners at the same time. These you can do in one corner or all 4 corners or just 2 corners. And then this stamp, this die here, which cuts out a flower. And that's the one that we're using today with this card. All right, so let's go ahead and we can take a quick peek at the card. Don't want to keep anybody in suspense, but look how pretty that is. Now, of course, it's even prettier because it uses the Blackberry Bliss paper. Every time I use the Blackberry Bliss paper, especially with my seniors, they go wild. They just really love this color. It's a fabulous neutral. It's almost, it stamps, very, very dark, almost a black, but it just goes beautifully with the Bloom Impressions designer series paper that's available for celebration, which only goes through the end of February, so we only have 2 weeks left. So let's go ahead and make this card. So we're going to start with the card base. I think I've got one here already folded in half. So it's just a normal standard size card. And we're going to go ahead and put some white cardstock on the inside. And I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal to do that. Quick and easy, nice and strong. Our Stampin' Seal is super strong. Those of you used to using mono adhesive, the Tombow mono adhesive, you'll find that this is so much stronger. And I don't use it in classes because it is a little more expensive. And my customers, they're used to the mono adhesive not being as sticky as it could be, so they use a ton of it, and so I go through a lot of it, and it's just not cost effective, but this is nice and strong to use. Now we're going to take some of the designer series paper. We're using 2 different sheets, and this is the back side of this beautiful paper. And of course this paper itself would be great, and you can use the for the top, you could just use the flowers, and the bottom, you can use another part of the paper. But this is my favorite pattern in that pack. It has all the different colors on there. And this is the reverse side of that, which is a nice sky blue. So really very versatile, but I just love this too much to even look at the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the top. This piece measures 4 by 3. So you get a whole bunch of them. You get 12 out of 1 sheet of the designer series paper. I'm always looking to maximize my use of paper because I have so many people that come to class and I make all these kits. So I do try to get as much as I can. And this is 2 by 4. And it leaves a little gap in the center. And that's what we want, okay? So then we're going to take, well, what I like to do to work with the white piece. Now this piece is 4.5 by 3, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp on here. So I'm going to use my Blackberry Bliss ink pad, and let me show you. This block is one of our bigger blocks. It's our this is our E block, and if you don't know that, you can see on the side of the blocks there's a letter, and that's how you can tell which block you're using, should you need to know what size it is. And I'm going to go to my stamp set, and I'm going to pull out the stamp so you can see it's all one big stamp. You can see mine is stained, but that's okay because we're going to I had cleaned it, and even though it still looks red, it was only used with the Blackberry Bliss, and so I've mounted it onto my big stamp. Okay, now when you're dealing with a bigger stamp like this and you don't want to make a mess of it, you're going to take your ink pad, because it's unbalanced. We only have the stamp on one side of the block. So I'm going to keep my stamp with the stamp side up, block side down, and I'm just gently tapping on the color. Make sure I got that really good. And this way I don't get ink all over the rest of the block. And I know some of my customers who made this card last week are wishing that I did this in my class last week, I bet, because we did have a few make that mistake. And I'm just putting it over, sorry for my head there, and stamping it down, and I'm putting it into that top corner. I might have wiggled it a little. Let's do that one more time. This is why you want to stamp first and cut second when you can, and so that you can flip it over. Because all of our paper has two sides, If you make a mistake, you just flip it over. And stamp that a little more evenly, hopefully. And there we go. Okay, so now that I've got that on there, I am going to use my die, and that is the one that I shared before. So that's this one. It's a corner die, and it just goes like this, and it'll go into the machine, okay? And it will cut out, and this is what it will look like. So now that I've done that, I need to stamp it one more time, which is good practice, because I, wanted to have that done so I didn't have to get up and use my machine across the room, or worse yet, put my machine on the table, which would shake everything. Okay, but now you see how that's done. All right, so we have our focal point for the card. All right, and let's go ahead and add it to a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and put my just regular adhesive, and I could use wet adhesive in this case if I wanted to. I always have that option. And really what I'd like to do is use a silicone mat, but they're all upstairs. But I just wanted to make sure I got that little corner down here to make sure that it will stick when I put it down. So this fits nicely inside there. And then we're just going to take some dimensionals and add it to the back. And I just use 2. You don't need to use a lot unless you want it, really sticking up high and all over. But I don't mind if it gets crushed a little bit. It still shows that it's nice and sitting on top of the card. All right, so there we go. And then finally, what we're going to do is take our ribbon. Now, this ribbon is also a celebration item. This is the gorgeous Fresh Freesia seam binding, and it's really thin and easy to tie. It's also a little staticky. It's also freezing cold here, and I've got, all kinds of layers on, so I'm staticky. I got a big wool sweater on today. So I'm just tying a bow, just like I would tie my shoelaces. Now, we had a whole discussion about bunny ears and not bunny ears. I never mastered the bunny ears, which is really funny because my husband, that's the only way he can tie. And so he taught our kids because I could not master the bunny ears. And now they all tie like I do now, but my husband still uses the bunny ears. anyway, so I like to tie my bow when it's still on the roll so that I can play with it a little bit and then, you know, hopefully waste a little bit less. And I'm just trimming on an angle with my Stampin' Snips. There we go. But this ribbon, again, with any $60 purchase, you can choose this as one of your items. And it's so pretty and really, again, easy to work with. And I'm going to add this to the card using a glue dot. And hey, Christine, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. I'm going to go ahead and just press in my bow into it and then just peel it off. And it has the glue dot on there. And I'm just going to put that in the bottom corner. So there you go. That is the Quick and Easy card. And again, it is one of 5 that we will make in the free class for anyone who purchases this bundle. I'll show you that again in the month of February. Or at any time you can purchase it and you know, make your own cards and play with it. So look for some more ideas with using this because it's, I think, my new favorite stamp set. So on all my social media channels, you might see some of those. And remember that, let's see, that celebration is only around for another week and a half, 2 weeks almost. And if you want to take advantage of any of those freebies, you want to make sure that you do that. If you have any questions at any time, you can always contact me, and I'd be happy to answer them. So thank you so much for joining. Bye-bye now.